guys, Sleeveless MTG back in another video. Today we're playing Rakdos Reanimator. Getting what this deck does. Alright, we want to control the board with cheap, efficient removal like Go for the Throat and Cut Down. We got Sweepers and Brotherhoods in and burn down the house. Then turn 5, we want to reanimate a Carnosaur or an Etali with Cruelty of Gix. They have Graveyard Hate, not a big deal. We'll just play it like a mid-range deck when we have land. Slam a Carnosaur or an Etali and win that way. Deck's awesome. Check out these games. Stick around to the end for the full deck list. And don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, we start off with opponent. We mulligan by mistake, but we keep a strong 6 by throwing back Etali. Not a lot goes on these first few turns. Opponent draws some cards. We really don't know what's going on. They're on Rakdos. We draw some cards, play some lands. But here coming up any second, we finally get our first break, and we draw a Cruelty of Gix right about... Alright, we play this Cruelty of Gix, take a peek at our opponent's hand and see he's on this Obnixilis Anvil plan. We take the he draws some cards and draws another Obnixilis. Coming down, there it goes. He's going to sack that Epicure and end up with 2. Make some devils, try to make us discard. We go and get some removal with Cruelty of Gix. We take out 1 with Molten Collapse. And then we Connoisseur the other. That way, Carnosaur is in the graveyard for the next turn when we bring it back with Cruelty of Gix. He's going to play Unlucky Weakness, but it's a little bit too late. Plays that Bloodtithe Harvester. We're going to untap, bring back our Carnosaur, spin it into a Redcap Gutter-Dweller. Play our land, take out that Bloodtithe Harvester. After some debating, our opponent decides to clear our entire board with just about every card in his hand. He double Volt Surge the Carnosaur. Then he draws some more, loses some more life, plays the Mechanized Warfare. We're going to cut down the Devil in response so we don't take 2 damage from it. Here goes Volt Surge number 3, and then Tithing Blade gets rid of our Gutter-Dweller. But we're going to slam Virtue of Persistence. Opponent makes some artifacts, drains and gains, which is pretty decent. Little synergy with that Mechanized Warfare, does some good damage. But we're going to bring back the Carnosaur, spin that into a Cruelty of Gix, and our opponent scoops it up. Going into sideboarding, bring in some Duresses and Deluge, which the Deluge was probably a mistake. It really just doesn't do enough. We cut a Sheoldred and the Irencrags. Seems like the Irencrags are kind of always the first thing to cut. They're great going into an unknown matchup, but afterwards you can just bring in more specific answers. Anyway, going this game 2, we keep a decent hand. We have removal interaction, Sweepers. We got the Connoisseur. We got our lands. We draw a Cruelty of Gix, but the opponent gets down this Bloodtithe Harvester. We're going to kill it, try to keep our life total high. He gets down an early Anvil, starts accruing value. We play our 3rd land. We can Deluge, but it's not going to do a whole lot. Opponent gets down and just starts going off. Starts making devils. Trying to force us to discard. We end up taking the life. We take a lot of damage from that. We just don't have a good answer to either one of them. We're going to kill one, but the other one's still going to get us in the end. Spoiler alert. But this match ends up ending pretty quickly. He extracts the truth from our hand and gets rid of Cruelty of Gix. Makes even more artifacts with Anvil. We get rid of that. We get down a Bloodtithe Harvester, but it's just too little too late. Soul God Lantern. We're going to try to exile this with this Molten Collapse, but he just pops in response and clears our graveyard. Pretty rough of us when they'll get graveyard. We Deluge, but it doesn't really do much. We do get in for here for 2. Probably should have just attacked. He plays another Bloodtithe Harvester. Draw some more cards. Train this again with the Anvil. We get the Gutter. We're going to play the Gutter-Dweller. Try to put something on the board. Attack with the Harvester, but he takes it. He's got so much life, it doesn't matter. Think about pitching the burn down the house, and then he gets the Bloodletter, and we just concede. We run about the same, still kicking myself in the ass for not cutting those Deluges, but Something you can do better if you play this deck with. They're just not good in this matchup. Alright, going into game 3. We keep a very land heavy hand, but we have some interaction. We got our cruelty. Bunch of man lands, Epicure for our opponent. We're going to cut down this Epicure and try to keep her life total high. So I think that's really what we messed up with last game. Taking too much damage from early on just didn't give us a chance to stabilize. Although the card advantage would have definitely hurt us also. But we're going to take this trade here. He extracts the truth, takes our cruelty. We play a land, pass it back. Should have fired up the man land here. Got in for 2, discard and draw. Opponent doesn't miss that, and he does get to get in. Start to block with the 2 Crucible tokens, but it's just really not worth it. I do fire it off on the end step so we can swing back for 2. Opponent's going to duress us and take down, burn down the house. Not doing a whole lot on this board anyway. Gets in with the man land. Does some more card filtering. We draw a Virtue of Persistence. We finally remember our man land. Get in again. We discard a Deluge and draw a Deluge. Again with the Thoughtseize bug. Opponent gets down to Mechanized Warfare, but we're looking pretty good here. We're at 15. Taking him down to 8. We're going to hold up this Carnosaur in case he plays anything. Opponent finally gets down to Ob after some debating. We sit here and also debate, but end up killing the Ob with our Carnosaur. He gets the Soul God Lantern, takes our Carnosaur. Starting to come back, our opponent is. We got the Versu and the Deluge. We fire up the Manland. We go attacking. He Volt Surges it. Bye-bye Manland. That's unfortunate. Boss of the Devil kills both their spirits. We do get him down to 7, but he fires up his Manland and hits us back. How many times can I say Manland in 30 seconds? Apparently it's a lot. We draw the Cruelty, but there's nothing in the graveyard to bring it back right now. So we fire off this Brotherhood's in, take out the Cult, and all of his tokens. We decide to get value off our blood token before we lose it. We draw the Redcap Gutter-Dweller. He gets down the big bat. We play our Gutter-Dweller. Opponent has the win here, but I don't believe he sees it. He just had to attack with both, and it would have been enough damage to kill us. He says, oops. Unfortunate, but we're about to punt right back here. He extracts the truth and takes our cruelty. I sacrifice to draw with a Gutter-Dweller. I'm going to shrink the bat and try to kill it with a Carnosaur, but I can't because it's not in my hand, so I can't discard it for its ability. I duress because I think I'm funny and I lost the game, but he ends up blocking and it costs him the game. He draws an anvil and plays it and kills himself. Alright, we keep a pretty decent hand here. We got some ramp, we got red, we got the cruelty, we got our lands. Looks like we're up against mono red. They're going to play Kamano. They're going to get down a buffed up Phoenix Chick and get in for 2. We're going to run out the Irencrag here. They're going to flip into Etchings and play an Invasion of Tarkir. Take a big chunk of damage. Down to 14. They're going to almost flip their invasion. Right here, we're going to run out the Redcap. Opponent takes some time thinking here. Believe he lightning strikes the Redcap. He does. He flips the invasion and attacks us for 2. Now he's got a 4/4 flying dragon. We're going to Molten Collapse the dragon, cut down the Phoenix Chick. Now he's only left with the etchings. Might as well attack since they can't block. Gets down another Kamano, gets in for 2. We're down to 8. We do draw the Etali. We're going to play Cruelty. We're going to take a peek at our opponent's hand. Get rid of the Godric. Godric does too much damage if he draws that 3rd land, which he does draw. But he puts it all into the Shivan Devastator. Comes in with a 3/3. We go down to 3. I lose the 3 life off the Cruelty of Gix. And we go into sideboarding. Cut the Sheoldred. And a cut down to burn down the house in favor of 2 cut downs. Just want more cheap interaction. Waiting for opponent. We're going to get into game 2. There we go. We get to play first. We got some lands. We got lots of interaction. We got a Cruelty of Gicht. Opponent starts off pretty strong, but we get to take out the Swiss Sphere. Player's second land, pass back to our opponent. He gets down a Charming Scoundrel. We're going to kill it in response to the trigger. Play our third land, and once again pass. He gets down the Viper. That's not good for us, so we're going to take that out with Molten Collapse. We draw another Cruelty of Gixt. He fires up the Mistress Foundry, gets in for 3. We draw a 4th land, take out the Phoenix Chick. He fires up the Foundry, takes us down to 13. We draw our 5th land, we're going to Cruelty. Nothing we can take, but our opponent is stacked with removal. He fires up the Foundry yet again, takes us down to 9 with the Invasion and the Foundry. We're going to get a Bloodtithe Harvester, play that here so we can fetch the Etali and put it in the graveyard. We got cut down if he fires up the Foundry. He ends up, here he's warcrafting the Invasion and flips it over into his dragon. In response, we're going to put the Etali in the graveyard. And we get the up-tap, untap, uptick the Cruelty, and bring back Etali. Nice value, we get a Sword of Once in the Future and a Bloodtithe Harvester. We're going to put them both on the field. We'll clip up our sword after we kill the dragon. I want to get in for some damage here. Get to do some surveilling, get rid of some lands. Gonna keep the Gutter-Dweller. Pass it back to our opponent. Not a whole lot he can do here. He does have a lot of removal, but we're still pretty stacked. We draw the Gutter-Dweller. We get in for a big attack here. Opponent's trying to get out of it. He's going to double Witch Stalker Etali. We're still getting in for, what, 8 there? And we get the Surveil. We'll put everything into the graveyard. He's going to want a Cruelty and bring back the Carnosaur. Flip that into another Cruelty. And bring back Etali. And the opponent just scoops it up. It's too much value for him. We run it back the same way. Alright, this is a real land heavy hand, so we mulligan. We throw back the Redcap. We keep some removal in a Carnosaur. It can also be removal or a finisher. Opponent starts off pretty strong though. He's got the Kamano into the Swiss Spear into another Kamano, but we get to cut down one of the Swiss Spears. Alright, we play our second land, pass it back. He flips over one of the Kamanos and gets the Godric, getting in for quite a bit of damage. We're going to take out the Godric, go ahead and cut down the etchings, pass it back to our opponent. He flips his other etchings. It's not looking good. We're already at 10. He brings down the Koth. Pluses him, gets a land. We play our land. We Virtue of Persistence and gain a little bit of life. But again, he plus and gets down a Kamano. We still got the Carnosaur. We draw another land. Try to take down the Koth because I didn't want him to ultimate, but it didn't do a whole lot of good, unfortunately. He just pluses again. He's really just thinning his deck so he gets more action. Gets in for 2 with the Foundry. We draw a cut down. At least that's an answer to the Foundry. Think about firing up the manland, and we do. I'm going to attack the Koth. He lightning strikes our land, so now we're down mana. We do get a Takanuma. We go ahead and play that. He flips over his Kamano, plus his Koth. We're down to 7. Swinging in with both. We cut down his land. We draw a land. We try to slam the Virtue and realize we don't have enough mana. He hits us down to 1, plays a Swiss Spear, and we scoop it up. Alright, into our third and final match. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think of this new style of video. Alright, opponent starts off with a tap land and we follow suit. He gets down a cult, another anvil deck. Ooh, that first match was tough. He plays an experimental synthesizer, that's new. And a 1-1 that gets bigger whenever you descend. We'll play our third land. We go ahead and Brotherhood's in and take out the anvil and the token. Fortunately, it does leave the 2-2 behind. He gets in for 2. We're going to play a fourth land here. We're going to kill that with Virtue of Persistence. Back up to 17. Play the Irencrag. Not looking too bad. He's going to Takanuma. Mill some stuff. Doesn't get anything back. Plays his land. We're going to power out the Carnosaur. Spin it into a Redcap Gutter-Dweller. And we're looking pretty sweet. Opponent scoops it up. It's just too much value for him. We don't change anything up. We don't pull anything out of the sideboard. We don't want to make the same mistake we did in the first game by bringing in Deluge. We got Brotherhoods in, and that should be more than enough. Alright, let's get into this second match. Just waiting on our opponent. Any second now. There we go. We keep a tap land heavy hand. Hopefully we draw another land and we can curve out. We start off with that tap land. We did draw that Takanuma. So that's good news. Turn 3 and we should be untapped. We're going to get down this Bloodtithe Harvester. Opponent played an anvil. Starting off pretty strong. Let's get the Epicure. And he's going to do some hand disruption. And take the red cap from us. There you go, opponent. Alright, we play a land. We're going to get down the Irencrag. We could go for the throat, but we're going to pitch this Etali into the graveyard. Get in for 3. Opponent takes it. Raid our Irencrag, which is a pretty big blow. But we draw another land. We're going to play our fourth land. Get in for 3. Pass it back to our opponent. He gets in for 2. He's going to sack his artifact 1-1. Get another 1-1, do some gaining and draining. We're going to kill that artifact. He virtues encourages us in response. Then we're going to take out the Epicure. We're being really aggressive this game. I think I just really wanted to end it. Didn't want to give him too many things to sacrifice. That might be a punt on my side. Could have been a little bit slower, a little bit more sparing with a removal. But we're going to play down this Cruelty. We're going to worry about the Carnosaur and we spin it into an Irencrag, which is not the best hit. He's going to play a Lord Skitter and start eating away at our graveyard. He attacks here, hopefully we won't block, but we don't take the bait. We block it. He sacks it to the anvil. We draw land. And we're going to slam an Etali. Reading what the Irencrag did. Wasn't really sure, but we're going to hit a Cruelty here and a Duress. We'll play the Duress, see what he's got. Take the Phyrexian Arena. And we bring back the Redcap. Looking pretty good at 12. We get in for 7. Pass it back to our opponent. He's going to play the Sokazon Smelter. Basically, you can pay 1, sacrifice the artifact, and he gets a 3-1. It's just more fodder for the anvil. Pretty nice, but it's not enough for him. We draw the cut down. He scoops it up. Alright guys, that's the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed this new format. I tried to speed it up and really keep it interesting. Do some editing, put in some funny things. But this is the full deck list. Check it out. Let me know what you think down below. We got the pop off a few times. We lost pretty hard to mono red, but we got to get them that one game. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Full deck list in the description down below. We'll see you in the next one.